what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a cheapo way of stopping a windshield crack from spreading on your windshield. I've got a relatively new windshield here, and I really don't want to have to replace the whole thing. I also have a crack right there that started because I got hit by a rock right at the top of the windshield, and now it's going to spread it's just headed right for my field of view as a driver. I want to stop it in its tracks. So, and what I want to do is really cheap out and use one of these $15, $16 repair your own crack windshield repair kits. Problem with these is that they're pretty much made for use with bullseye or star and chip repairs, and that means there needs to be a opening point in the windshield so that the resin can penetrate. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to use a diamond bit on the end of a Dremel and just create a very small entry point at the point of right before the end of the crack. And then what we're going to do is we're going to apply the kit. So we're going to go ahead and give that a try. Okay, that should be perfect. I've just created a small pinhole really with my diamond bit on the Dremel, just to create an entry point for the resin, and that's where I'm going to apply my resin kit. Hopefully that will fill the end of the crack so that it won't spread anymore. We'll do that next. I just wanted to give you a before and after before we apply this resin. If you look close, and this of course is my driver view here, so I'm paranoid about this crack coming straight across my driver view. So I want to stop it, and there you can see the crack, and you can see also where I applied the tiny hole with the very fine tipped drill with the Dremel. So again, the next step is to apply the kit, the little $15 kit, and we'll see how that works. Okay, I'm not going to bore you with the particulars of these resin kits. Like I said, they're mostly $15–16 at auto parts places, and there's different types. So just follow the directions for the one you have. For mine, you have to glue a pedestal right at the point of the entry point. That's why it's crucial to create an entry point for the resin using the Dremel. And now I'm just waiting the 10 minutes for it to draw the air through the crack. And then we're going to squeeze the resin in and see what the result is. So later we'll see the final result, and hopefully it'll be good. So we're at the last stage here. I'm just using a little bit of the leftover resin to fill the hole. They give you a little piece of plastic to cover it over to hold the resin in place. I personally don't care about that tiny little hole. What I was worried about is stopping the crack from spreading into my driver's field of vision, and I think it's been successful. So we'll just let this final step in the repair finish, and then we'll get a final result and show you. Okay, it's time for to see the final result, and it looks pretty darn good. We can see the very fine mark I made with the Dremel tool. The resin almost completely has filled it in, so I really don't care about that. What I care about is that the end of the crack after where I made the Dremel mark is gone, and that's because the resin filled it in, and hopefully that'll do the trick to stop it from spreading. So if you want to try this, it might be worth the $15. Again, it's a cheapo repair. You get what you pay for, but it's worth a try, and especially if you're worried about a crack spreading into your field of vision. So if you try this, good luck. Have fun.